Okay, I'd like to give just a brief introduction to ReadTheory. It's an excellent website here. It says teaching students to read and think critically. When you go to the main page, you get here, which is kind of sample text and sample questions of what students have to do and the type of tasks students have to complete. Here, sample text, sample questions, and you can see here when a student chooses the wrong response, they get quite a comprehensive explanation as to why that answer is wrong and what is the correct answer. So I think here it helps students to think about how they can work out the answers by excluding the wrong answers. So you can see this one is wrong, this one is wrong, and the answer is A, I only. So it's helping them to narrow down their choice of correct answers. Okay, when you go to the main page, you can either sign up if it's your first time, or you log in if you're already a member of a group, or you have your own account. The main page offers the class overview, a list of your students which are a member of this IELTS March class. So this is still here. I doubt it's still active, but this is one of my first classes. If you click here, the plus sign at the top, you can add a class. There's 4 very easy steps to creating your class. Create the name, create new students, or if you already have existing students, you can invite new ones, but I think most people will use this, create new students. You add their first name, their surname, and you get to this page here, which is the main information you will need. Here you're given more information. I've got my personal email, which I don't generally give out to students. Here I cut and paste, so they have their first name, their username, and the password. So I show this in class. Something which could be developed better with the website is if they had maybe PDF printouts, where you just printed this out and gave each student. I generally present this in the class and tell students that these are capital letters and there's no spaces, and it's a kind of generic password which the class group uses. Okay, so after that, students will then go home. They will use their code to sign in. I've signed out and I've signed in now as Jack, and Jack has his pretest ready. So Jack will follow the 10 questions which are required for the pretest. It is very important that you remind students that it takes around 20 minutes to complete the pretest, and they have to complete all the 10 questions for their progress to be saved. Many students maybe do 1 or 2 questions, they stop, but then they wonder why their progress has not been recorded. So you really do have to emphasize this. So here are sample questions here. We've got different task types. So this is like global reading strategies to identify the main idea. This one is applying reasoning and logic. That's a great thing about ReadTheory. There are many different question types which are really useful for students who are planning on doing IELTS. It's obviously useful for general English students, but I find that IELTS students really need to become more aware of these different task types. I liked this question here in the pretest. A feather is light. What is light cannot be dark. Therefore, a feather cannot be dark. So quite a short task here, but the responses are quite verbose. This is going to be designed for higher level students, and I think this is kind of an example of the type of questions which are promoting the idea that students should think more critically and read critically. So they're teaching this here is the correct answer, C, equivocation. So you've got somewhat meta language here. Students are learning that equivocation is an informal logical fallacy. It's a misleading use of a term with more than one meaning. So they're being introduced again to polysemic words like light. So here it can have different meanings. So got a lot of challenging vocabulary here for students. Once they complete the pretest, they're shown this page and they can start reading. So they've been given a level which is around their zone of proximal development, shall we say, their level of reading skills, and they can attempt their first reading, their first text. Here you can click on the question, you've got information about the text. here, which tells you about how the directions, the level, the vocabulary, the source. And then you've got various different questions here. There's one that's about inferring meaning from the context, various synonyms for like clues and hints. Okay, there's another question here which is emphasizing how, well, the explanation emphasizes how they can exclude their own answer and where they should focus. It's emphasizing scanning the topic sentence of each paragraph, again very important in IELTS. Another question here, it's quite good. Again, high language gested, it's telling how students can work out the meaning. Okay. Okay, so again here is I've logged out the student, and this is my teacher page from ReadTheory. If you click on the Progress Reports tab, you're taken here, and you can see how your students are progressing. This page, this first chart, tells you the points each student has earned. The 81 quizzes have been taken. When you scroll down, you're given more charts. There's a number of quizzes taken. I think the dark green is above their pretest level, the light green is at the pretest level, and the yellow is below. So it's quite good to see what level of tests they're doing, how they are progressing. You've got the average grade level performance of the class. Here's it 4. You can see how they're getting on, how it compares to the pretest grade score. The lexile level is relating to the vocabulary, and the mastery of ELA Common Core Standards. So ELA is English Language Arts, and you can see this class is maybe struggling more with craft and structure. So craft and structure relates to how words are used, words and phrases used in a text, and how they are interpreted. This can include technical, cognitive, connotative, figurative meanings, and specific word choices shape meaning or tone. So students may need further in-class language work related to raising their awareness of these characteristics. Craft and structure also includes analysing text structure and exploring how specific sentences, paragraphs, and possibly even larger sections relate to one another, the whole, so a kind of cohesion. It also includes how the writer's point of view or purpose shapes content and influences the style of a text. Key ideas and details. The students are doing better with those Common Core Standards. So this is reading for detail to determine explicit meaning and making logical inferences, citing specific textual evidence in writing or speaking to support conclusions, summarising key supporting ideas and details. Also involves analysing how and why individuals, events or ideas develop and interact within a text. The last chart here is integration of knowledge. Maybe integration in evaluating content presented in diverse media and formats, including visually and quantitatively, as well as in words. But again, I would be maybe trying to focus on improving craft and structure in class. If you go to the inventory tab at the top, you click on here, you're taken to this page where you can print out assessments. This is an example one here. I printed out PDF, it's quite good. There are 5 questions, there's a written question, and you're given the answers. So students can use these in class. I would maybe choose, here is grade level 4 for the class, so I'd attempt to maybe try grade level 4 in class. I could even give grade level 5 to some stronger students, group them up, maybe stronger students with weaker students, different texts. Maybe afterwards they can present their text to each other, what they've learned. That's quite good. They're speaking and listening as well. And I also like to post a progress chart on the wiki to motivate students and get them to do more ReadTheory exercises.